Yo, what is happening, guys, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Fighting channel. As you can tell by the title on the thumbnail today, we will be talking about Misfits boxing because they have just announced Misfits 008 event. And my initial reaction, I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think. Let's get into the fights and then we'll speak over it. First up, we got Brandon Herrera versus Action Man. I don't know who either of these people are personally. I don't really know what to expect from that fight. Move on to the tag team. There's Dean the Great and someone that I don't really know. Apologies to him. Versus OJ Rose and Cabo Slice Jr. So that's a tag team match, apparently. Then you have Alan Belcher versus Hasim Rockman Jr. We're finally going to get to see Hasim Rockman Jr. again. Alan Belcher. That could potentially be a good fight. Next up, we got Anthony Taylor versus Paul Bamba. Then we got the main event. Of course, there will be more fights announced for this card, I'm sure. But then we got the main event, which is a Survivor tag. I know, a Survivor tag. And I was very confused when they first announced this. I was like, what do you mean? But the Survivor tag includes Nick Lamau versus Swarms versus B-Dave versus Ryan Johnson. Now, you're all aware Nick Lamau is the guy who faced Jay Swingler, lost to Jay Swingler controversially because a lot of people believed he won. Swarms obviously just recently lost to Deji. B-Dave had his tag team match with Pineda. And then Ryan Johnson, last time I saw Ryan Johnson, I believe it was on Social Gloves 1. I believe YouTube versus TikTok. I believe that was it. But the Survivor tag, I was very confused on how it would work. So I went on to their Instagram and it explained all the rules. So this is the rules up now, right? We got Survivor tag rules. 4 fighters with the signed corners. First 2 men in the ring will be decided with a social media poll. A tag can be made at any time to any fighter other than consecutively the same fighter when all 4 competitors remain in the fight. Refusal of a tag equals elimination. TKO, KO, or knockdown equals elimination. And the winner is last man standing. So, essentially, there will be 2 people to start. For example, say Swarms and Nick Lamau win the poll. They will start in the ring. B-Dave and Ryan Johnson will sit on the outside of the ring. They'll box. You don't specifically have a partner. You can tag absolutely anybody. If Swarms decides he wants to tag Ryan Johnson, he can. If he decides he wants to tag B-Dave, he can. And they get in and out. You're eliminated whenever you get knocked down. If you get knocked down once, knocked out, TKO'd, whatever, you get eliminated. If Swarms were to go over to B-Dave and try to tag him and B-Dave were to not accept the tag, he gets eliminated. So you have to accept the tag. There will obviously only be 2 people in the ring at once, but they'll be tagging each other and you don't have a specific person to tag. You can just tag whoever you want and it will literally be last man standing as the main event. Now, Misfits really going down that WWE route. I'm waiting for a Royal Rumble. That's what I want to say. I want to see a Misfits Royal Rumble. KSI, Logan Paul, Deji. I want to see people fucking thrown over the top rope. But I really don't know how to feel about this event. I'll be completely honest. I think they really need to announce big fights for this event. I think this is... Now, I've looked at Misfits events in the past. The one with Dean the Great versus Wild Lake Sharks, I wasn't overly interested in until I got closer to the time. And I enjoyed it. The recent JMX one versus Le'Veon Bell, it was alright. It wasn't anything too special. I think they need to announce some big fights for this event, or this fight could be in jeopardy. Because my opinion overall, Brandon versus Action Man, I don't really know who they are. Not really interested in that fight. My issue with the tag team, Dean the Great and the guy versus OJ Rose and Kimbo Slice Jr. I like the tag team idea, but it depends who's in it. I don't like Dean the Great being in a tag team because in my opinion, I think they could have used this event to finally make the Dean the Great versus Wild Sharks rematch that I think all of us want to see. We've wanted to see it since that fight happened, and I think that was Misfits 3. Misfits 1 was KSI, Misfits 2 was Jay Swingler, Misfits 3 was Dean the Great versus Wild Sharks, which I'm pretty sure was in like December or something last year. It was a while ago. It was more than 6 months ago. And I think we all just want to see the Wild Sharks versus Dean the Great rematch, and we're not getting that. And I think that this is just a big miss of an opportunity because they're putting Dean the Great in a tag team, and it's kind of just limiting the hype. Either make them fight or have them both fight on this card, but different people to build the hype more. But preferably, I personally would have preferred the main event to be Dean the Great versus Wild Sharks. That would have grabbed my attention. But Dean the Great in the tag match, I'm not overly interested in my personal opinion. Alan Belcher versus Hakeem Rockman Jr. That could be a good one. I like to see Hakeem Rockman Jr. in the ring again. But it's not really one I don't think that a lot of people are going to get hyped for. I feel like a lot of people know who Hakeem Rockman Jr. is. A lot of people ain't going to know who Alan Belcher is. So that's not really going to be a big hype fight. A lot of people aren't overly going to care about that because they like Hakeem Rockman Jr., but he's also not an influencer, so they're not going to be backing him 100% like they would with KSI, Deji, Swarms even, Jay Swingler, all of that. They're not going to do that, so I don't see that fight for him well. Anthony Taylor versus Paul Bamba, that is a fight that I am happy about. Anthony Taylor obviously recently beat Saul Poppy, and I do have a video coming to do with that soon, because I actually recorded a video of my reactions to that straight after the event the next day, and I just never got around to editing and uploading it. So you will see that soon of me explaining what's next, I guess. But Anthony Taylor versus Paul Bamba, I think that's good. Anthony Taylor coming off a high, beating Saul Poppy. Paul Bamba obviously losing to Chris Oliveira. I think that's going to be a good fight. I'm looking forward to that. I'm backing Anthony Taylor, but I'm looking forward to that one. That's a positive about this. Then there's the Survivor Tag. The Survivor Tag, good idea, but I still don't know how to feel about it because it's an idea of, they've said we don't want to go down the traditional boxing route. We want to make this as fun as possible. And I think this is a fun idea, having a Survivor Tag match. But will it go well? Because what if people just don't get knocked down? What if it's really quick like that? What if it just goes all the rounds? Are the judges going to score who they think won? Because I feel like that could fail. I feel like if people just don't get knocked out, if Swarms, B. Dave, Ryan Johnson, Nick Lamau, if they just don't knock each other out, knock each other down, and it keeps going on, and it gets all rounds, and the judges have to score, I think that's going to be an issue. I think the winner has to win by knocking all the three out. You know what I mean? Or like Swarms knocking Ryan Johnson out, or then Nick Lamau comes in and knocks him out. Like, I feel like it has to end and it has to be for knockouts. It can't be for judges scoring. And my issue with it is, I feel like it's a good idea, I guess. You test the waters, you know. It's not the greatest idea in the world, but I feel like, you know what? It's out there. It's going to be entertaining. I'm going to watch it, definitely. But I just don't think it should be the main event because you don't know if it's going to actually be as good as you plan it to be. So I don't think it should be the main event. And I think what's bothering me the most is we're not getting the Wild Sharks versus Dean the Great rematch. That's what's bothering me the most. Some of the fighters I don't know. Anthony Taylor fight, I'm interested in. The tag team, not overly. You know, I liked when it was B. Dave and Pineda because they had chemistry and they kind of were like, they were like a good tag team because they were kind of like WWE characters the way they got on. Dean the Great, I just want to see him fight Walid, bro. That's it. And then, you know, Alan Belcher versus Hakeem Rockman Jr. Not a lot of fans are going to care about that, like I said. So I don't know, man. Looking at this event, I don't think this event is going to perform very well because compared to all the other Misfits events, aside JMX versus Livian Bell, I think it's going to be under them unless they announce some huge fights. Because this is coming up in July. I'm pretty sure Kingpin's coming up in July. A lot of people will watch Misfits over Kingpin just because it's KSI's company. But I can tell you now, if these two were to fall on the same day, I'm watching Kingpin 100% because I'm more interested in what Kingpin's doing with this tournament than this event. And that's not me hating, this is just my personal opinion. I just think the event could have been better, the fights could have been better. But it is what it is. Let me know in the comments below, what is your opinion of the whole event? Like I said, I will release that Anthony Taylor versus Saul Poppy video, even though it is very old. I will release it anyway so you can see it. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think about everything. I've rambled on here, but I just don't think it's a great looking event. But it is what it is. Either way, hope you all enjoyed. Let me know your opinions. Think positive, test negative. Have an amazing day. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next one. So, peace. Fearless.